Peace, peace, and flowing with the way of the harmony as always, vibing from that high heart frequency. So, real quick, I want to talk about something. I just saw this, this quote, not necessarily a quote, but it said something. It was talking about revenge, basically, and I thought about how, revenge is most successful when it's in the form of success, to where those people that spoke ill during your absence will be forced to eat their own words. You know what I mean? And even though revenge is like a two-headed snake or a double-bladed sword, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna partake. You know what I mean? Because every now and then, when you travel through, different locations, you're picking up on environmental energies. You know what I mean? So you're picking up on thought forms. But the people that choose to embody or partake in that thought form that is non-beneficial to themselves, as well as having a non-beneficial concept about somebody else, is being taken over by a malicious energy, aka a demon, aka a fallen angel. You know what I mean? Certain environments that give off these energies are gonna be a place of sorrow, a place of death, a place of stagnant energy. So if you are picking up on these things, as far as like a thought form or even like a bad vibe, make sure you just make sure you have the awareness to not acknowledge it past a certain point. Make sure to, cleanse it, whether it's just in your mind being like, what the fuck is that? That's not me. No, thank you to that thought form. Just never acknowledge non-beneficial energy is what I'm meaning to say. And don't even speak it necessarily out loud, because as you know, word magic is a very real thing. The rate at which it manifests, can vary. It can be fast, it can be slow, it can be anything in between, you know what I mean? But you gotta have the awareness to know what's your thoughts, what really resonates with you, and not let things overtake your being, or even partake in things that are just non-beneficial in general, you know what I mean? So just remember that anytime somebody is speaking ill about you, and you kind of pick up on this vibe, or even if like you yourself pick up on a negative thought form or a non-beneficial thought form, just know that it can be an environmental factor. You know what I mean? So just like that. With that being said, like even in zodiac terms, like the air houses. You know what I mean? The third house, the seventh house, and the 11th house are going to be the thought form, the communication and thought form. You know what I mean? So those are going to be the areas where you can possibly pick up on beneficial thoughts, communications, and ideas, or non-beneficial thoughts, communications, and ideas. And I've noticed this while, the moon is in a certain sign, especially air signs. This is when this energy is going to be a lot more prevalent and a lot more out there. You know what I mean? So like every day, like speaking about that term, the art of war. Every day, you know, we're at war with something in a certain sense. You know what I mean? Don't over uh, invest in that energy. You know what I mean? But we're always at war with something. There's always something that you have to do or partake in, or even like even certain oppositions that are against you. Like, yes, there's things that go with you too. Like the art of war is multiple layered. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily mean you got to be out fighting, shooting, stabbing, all that shit, all that violent shit like that. It can get to that degree if you let it, but there's various different degrees of what I'm meaning to say. You know, just like how I spoke about, we have four rooms to our house: our mental, our emotional, our physical, and our spiritual. You know what I mean? So within this, the art of war can exist in most of those areas, and it only gets unbalanced when you don't know how to balance your energy. When you tune too much out to the things external and you're not tuning in. So make sure to tune in daily. You know what I mean? And there's various different ways to do this. But I just wanted to get this video out since I haven't been putting some things up. And just make sure there's people that actually are aware of this, and make sure that you're constantly being aware of this in your own given way that you need to realize it in. You know what I mean? Maybe that's not the best way to say it, but yeah, that's basically it. So pay attention to your air houses. Uh, Make sure you cleanse your mind. And just to give a couple ways to do that, meditation, obviously. That's one of the main purposes of meditation, is to clear your mind, tune into your vibe, and then just freely be yourself authentically. You know what I mean? Uh, Another one too is working with crystals that stimulate your mind and also protect from certain environmental discrepancies or whatever that fucking word is. I'm trying to get all fancy with my words and shit. But anyways, yeah, that's basically it. I'm trying not to drift off into a million different ideas, but yeah, that's the main one I want to get out. So those are there. Also, like you can't really control, like if you are going to certain environments, certain spaces and locations, you can't necessarily have crystals there. Sometimes you can't necessarily always have the people that make you feel comfortable, or sometimes you can't even be comfortable in a space that you're not familiar with. I mean, cancer signs, you know what I'm talking about. So that's why uh, it's important at times to carry certain things like sage and other things, and where there is an environment where you can cleanse it to be a little bit more comfortable, or to cleanse the non-beneficial energy when it's appropriate, you can do so. But at times when you can't do that, just keep these ideas in your mind. Have that awareness that the external stuff doesn't need to regularly uh, have an impact on you. You know what I mean? Don't let it don't let it take over. Is all I mean to say. And that's kind of like when you have your shadow work, when you're just constantly doing your shadow work, you know what what particular areas your shadow might try to manipulate. Like you might try to manipulate yourself on, or your insecurities or your weak points. You know what I mean? So make sure you do that work. Make sure you know what those points are, and you constantly work on them. You know what I mean? Whether you got that silent warrior type vibe and you just don't express it too much, or maybe you have a group of family, relatives, or friends, and you can steadily communicate these things and find a way to overall bring that healing. And there's multiple different ways to do it. Is what I'm meaning to say, but you know, remember, not everything is meant to be expressed. Peace, peace. Flowing with the way of the harmony, vibing from the high heart frequency, and run it back. Peace.